This is a certified hood classic.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
All rise. Order in the court. Flusha and Joe are both here, and myself and Mikey are here as well.
I've seen, people slipping in, sliding in.
Sliding in.
So we got a case. That's right. The live edition, where you'll see me and Creed's beautiful faces.
Not a premiere.
No, premieres are their own special things. Different. The lives, well, you get this. When I say this, I mean this.
In all of its glory.
All of it's full of glory. So today's kind of different, Creed, because I'm rolling the dice.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trusting our loyal fans, followers, stalkers, and haters by taking one of their submissions.
Yeah.
And just watching it.
Not
even going to preview it, not anything. We're just taking one of the viewer submissions.
Wow. All right.
And just blowing the doors off.
All right. Do we wait until afterwards to see how this goes before we say who the viewer was?
Well, that's the other thing. They decided to send it with username, number, this, and this. So,
oh God,
I don't know if this is a saboteur or a friend. So we're just gonna take it as it is. They did say there in the description, I believe the wording where these guys are former partners. They're stalking, harassment, a abuse collage.
Never heard of one of those, but I'm in.
As well as 5-star hotels and, in quotation marks, humble brags.
I'd love that. Jay, the Judge Simpson with the old crackhead.
Wow, that was
Mo, the drug dealer. That
was
great.
So good.
Yeah, if you haven't
so
seen
good. Hopefully,
that
it'll get people to see it, but it was so good. I really enjoyed that one.
Trisha, they have a moon pie store in Pigeon Forge.
The triple decker is just too much.
It is. It's too much. The cake is a little bit too much on the roof of the mouth kind of thing. Yeah. I like the mini, slightly smaller ones. Carol, you ever see those? The small.
You like the nanner ones or what?
Well, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I buy the Little Debbie version at the Food Lion quite often. They're the same. Yeah, the banana. I kind of surprised because I'm not a big fan of banana things, but I Terminator.
Not too bad, Terminator. Try the Nanner moon pies today if you haven't.
Moon pies are everywhere basically at this point, right? Not just
I would think so.
Now, I think.
I would think so. They're everywhere.
Marky, you ever have a moon pie? Have you? I bet you haven't, actually.
Is that today's poll question for We Got a Chase?
As Marky had a moon pie.
No, I was going to say moon pies. Are they everywhere? Have you ever heard of
are they?
Pie?
Yeah, you ever heard of a moon pie? The Cheer 100, I think that's money. We don't do much on Twitch, so thank you. That could be $1,000. I don't.
It could be $250,000 bones for all we know.
Hallelujah.
What prompted you filing your petition requesting an order of protection after you were served?
I was prompted to file my petition actually prior to being served. Your question was after. I filed it prior to being served. It was lost in translation because
I'm just saying it looks like you were served on June 2nd and your petition was filed on June 8th.
Let me let's just answer the question as far as I can and then back up and say, wait a minute, was that no, wait. Well, you said it. Off to a great start.
Double talk. And is this lady wearing a house robe from a 5-star hotel? It looks like it's real, like way up here, like huge robe.
What a great start.
Yes, Your Honor. But I spoke with the Women's Resource Center and a few employees there, they filed it incorrectly because as Ms. Clark conveniently stalked me, that I was assaulted in another similar situation where I met somebody online and I was renting and they wanted to control my finances. And I filed a petition in DeKalb County at the home that I owned.
Okay, thank you.
Is that convenient stalking? I've never heard it put that way. Convenient stalking.
Wanting to control her monies.
Finances, Creed. When you're rich, you call it finances. When you're broke, you call it monies. Interesting. Double talk.
And it was granted to me, actually,
Right.
Your Honor.
So hold on. Are you talking about another case that doesn't involve this petitioner or this
I
respondent?
did.
This part?
No, I was given another case number pertaining with Lakia Clark, but it was misfiled because of my last name already in the court's system.
Okay. So when did you file?
I initially filed the beginning of May.
And why did you file?
I filed a petition of protective order against Miss Lakia Clark because once I started ending up for myself, not paying for things for her.
Rod, if you find out, let me know, please. We we all need to take advantage of that.
Is she in a porta potty up there, by the way?
Echoey. It's her car though.
Yeah, it's very echoey car.
Yeah,
Cavernous, some would say.
And I think that Samsung here is in the same house as we saw yesterday. You know, with no furniture.
She's sitting on the floor.
Yeah, in the corner.
She became abusive, demanding, irate, emotionally unstable. She became physically and verbally abusive. I no longer had access to any of the amenities or the house. She wanted me to be isolated in my room. She talked to me as if I was inferior, as if I was her pet chihuahua that she...
I'm going to ask you to focus on acts of violence. So being rude, disrespectful, that sort of thing is bad roommate behavior, bad person behavior, but it's not necessarily acts of family violence or threats of violence. So can you tell me, when you say she became abusive, what specifically do you mean?
Yes, the incident that she became very dangerous in the stove. She would throw my stuff off the stove in the area. She pushed me. She kicked me. She pulled my hair. She forcefully pushed me off the bed. And this all happened she was dressed up to go out, again, trying to impress me or what have you. And then I called the cops, but if you look at the records, if I provided that information, the cops were called without her knowledge. Once she was aware that I called the cops because she started to assault me. And
yeah, I typically don't, if I'm going to call the cops on Mikey, I'm not going to text him or call him and be like, hey, just so you're aware, I'm calling the cops on.
Just giving you a heads up. Do you have amenities at your home? I don't have any amenities at my home.
No.
Amenities are typically something I look for when I go to a resort or a hotel.
Now we offer a lot of amenities to the 3 cats and the dog. They've got a lot
0.0 amenities here at my place.
Well, they do. We do a breakfast and a dinner for them each night, laid out with water throughout the day.
0.0.
Is she hitting on all the keywords? I feel like she's got a script in front of her of all the keywords you should hit when trying to get.
Oh,
a TPO is exactly the words the judge is looking for. She's hitting all those because she rattled off 10 in a row. I felt like she assaulted me. She pulled my hair. She kicked me off the bed. She didn't grab my phone. She didn't, just she's hitting all the keys.
She chat GP it or whatever it's called beforehand, just to hit every single little piece. She should have said that she grabbed the phone out of her hand.
That moment, I just called the cops in that moment, and you can hear her just yelling in the background, belittling me, assaulting me. And then they came to the residence, and that's the initial time where I told them that she was, you know, stealing from me, assaulting me. And those were the initial acts of violence where I provided.
So around what date was this?
This date was around Mother's Day, because she had researched me, and she had said foul things about my children, about whatever she had found out about me, saying that I lied, that I was previously assaulted, which unfortunately I was, and she followed suit as well. And I just allowed the abuse to continue, because I always felt if I retaliated, I had no grounds to stand on. So I just let her vent and use me as a punching bag. And
okay, have you submitted any evidence that you want the court to consider?
Punching bag.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
I did
what is
submit.
that?
I submitted evidence of her pushing me off the bed, removing the bed from me, which I had purchased. I didn't bring anything in there because she had started stealing from me. And then the items that I did leave in there, she stole those as well when I was being treated by the EMS, because after I had been assaulted from a roommate that had sexually assaulted me and produced children. Thank you. Okay. I
listen.
What?
I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that a lot of this happened, because I'd feel absolutely terrible if it really
Just
did.
say it didn't. Yeah.
But this is a lot to take.
I mean, she is like,
yeah.
All right. First of all, I laughed about the part where she said she allowed her to be a punching bag, which it was fine. But then she says, while she was being treated by the EMS, this lady was stealing her things like during that time. Like EMS is there, and she's like going through stuff, stealing things, ransacking the house. And then we went into this assault from a previous, this lady doesn't need roommates, from a previous roommate that procreated children.
Let's not forget about the SA as well. Add that assault in as well. Whew. Lots to take in. I think that she probably spit out some rhymes that we didn't even get throughout all of this. But
she assaulted me. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to gather myself, Your Honor.
Okay. So what evidence is it that you said you want me to look at?
I had provided evidence of her pushing me. I also have other evidence.
What is that evidence of her pushing you?
She is pushing me off, pushing me, kicking me, yelling at me.
Is there a video?
I did attach a video.
Okay,
and,
she just described every kind of pushing
when
there
did you
is.
send that in?
I sent that in. I believe I submitted. If I didn't submit this in today, it may not have been submitted within the 24 hours, because I had another case that I had responded to. So all that evidence where my petition was granted, my ex parte hearing was granted, I had submitted the appropriate information.
So when did you submit that?
I had submitted that the day after I had spoken to the judge, I believe. I gathered some information.
Do we have any evidence in this case from that?
Judge, I'm not showing a video. I'm showing like a picture collage.
There's a picture collage. There's no video that has been submitted that they.
This is a first. We've never had collages.
The pictures you can see where Miss LeClaire Clark, she had punched me. She had pulled out my hair. She had jumped on my back. She had went for knives. The incidents where we're talking about her phone, I grabbed my phone. Everything had dropped, my wallet, everything that was in my hand. She just surprised attacked me. And I called the police. And you can see of all the police records, I have been the one calling the police. Anytime there's never been a time. Well, I didn't look at the police open records or anything like that. So I didn't cross-examine her and say, has she ever called the police? Because I didn't have any records stating that she did not. But I have been the one calling for help, claiming that I'm abused. I have been robbed. I have been wronged. I have been scammed. I have been swindled. I have been in this unsafe situation. Because I have seen injustice where at a blink of a time they can have you out on the street, they can take everything from you. And she started talking to me as if I was inferior. She didn't know I owned homes, didn't know I owned cars, she didn't know anything about me.
So let me ask you this: how long did this start after you moved into the residence?
Humble brag.
Well, right, very.
She upped it on that one. It's not just home now; it's homes.
She owns homes. She owns cars. This lady is laying in wait like a ninja, attacking her, sneak attacks, Pearl Harboring her at every turn. But yet we continue to live with this lady. I mean, she's got pushed off the bed. She got pushed in the back. She got pushed off a cliff. She was swindled. She was bamboozled. She was hoodwinked.
All of it.
Quickly. So like how I mentioned in April, where she didn't want to mention that she had pushed herself onto me, but I'm not. She yelled at me because I'm not sexually active, which I'm not. I just don't participate in like frivolous sexual escapades. I just don't do that. So she was asking me to go out. There were women that were approaching me. There were women and men, and she jealously handed me drinks and wanted me to pay and just wanted the attention, I guess, of what she considered suitors or at that time. And I'm really not a verbal person. My voice was really hurting me. So a lot of times she was just yelling at me and I wouldn't say anything. I would just sit there while she was just blasting obscenities.
So when did the first act of violence occur?
The first act of violence, I would say it began right before I actually got everything notarized. The first act of violence and abuse and aggression presented itself then.
Began when? Right before you got everything notarized?
Never even answered it.
Right, because I wasn't going to continue because she started requesting additional, like she wanted my driver's number. She wanted additional information and was forcing me and was calling people to have like bully tactics. And I was reading in Chase, because I've also been a Chase customer. If you're in a situation where people are.
She's talking about a bank now. I just want to.
Chase Manhattan Bank, yes, of course. Only the elite bank with Chase.
Never forget. Not a verbal person at all.
Extracting information from you in a split second where you don't have time to think if it's a scam or something like that. It probably is. Just be careful. So I just started to be more
public service
leery about things, and then she started to leave my door unlocked and
So the act of violence happened before you moved in?
Before I had physically signed the lease, she had presented acts of violence to make me sign the lease because I started to like stray away from signing because how she was treating me.
What? If we own houses, why are we signing leases?
To move in with other people who are beating. A lot of stuff happened prior to moving in, and we're still moving in. Why are we moving in? This lady, look at her. She's like, are you shitting me? Like, she's looking around like she's as befuddled and hoodwinked feeling as we are right now, because this is all completely insane from the lady who isn't very
Mikey,
verbal.
let's not forget, though, unfortunately, as we already know, I haven't even watched this, of course, we just know that she's going to win anyways. But still, you're going to make me nuts even more when we get to that point. So just, there's that. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I know how this goes.
What act of violence did she do to force you to sign the lease?
She was using coercion and threats and like just calling me out of my name.
When a woman does it, is it coercion? You get the her in there, right? When it's
coercion.
when Sony's doing that, that's
When I do it, it's coercion.
cohesion.
I don't know.
Whoever sent this in, very good so far. I'm not going to give you too much credit.
Either that or you just hate us and you making us watch this. One of the two.
That's true, because again, let's hope I'm wrong. And
strong arm
I'm
tactics.
trying to make the scales unbalanced, make me kind of like question, you know, why I was even asking her in the first place, just make me like question myself. I guess they call it like gaslighting. So I just, you know, made me question, because I was just like, what's the odds of something bad is going to happen again in my life? And I figured maybe it is happening. So I would just.
How long had you known her at that point?
I knew her for a few weeks.
So why did you move in?
I moved in because I was at that point I was spending thousands of dollars on hotels, and I wanted something more like, you know, stationary, something that can provide a little bit more longevity. And she said she was looking for that, and it was compatible at the time. There was a few things that I was concerned about, but I thought that I could possibly overlook, given my present circumstances that I had found myself in. It was basically just I needed something to survive and allow my money to rest, while I was also gathering more, you know, work, because as she had mentioned about you know, me being arrested, I was forced out of a 5-star hotel in Atlanta, where I paid and had first class flights and all this stuff, because my kids are in a residence where I do not know they are being abused. They have been abused, and I contacted them when I was assaulted when I was pregnant, and they never arrested that person either. So I just had to move in a different way, because once I was placed from my residence, I worked for myself. I wasn't actively making an income. So just because I had a surplus of money didn't mean I had to budget that money so the money could work for me, so that I wouldn't be arrested, because that's why I didn't know the address to even send any kind of form of payments, and or to have some kind of stability where I could get my children in an unsafe situation to get my cases heard in the first place. So it wasn't as if I was a bad person. I didn't assault anybody. It just something that I have to fight in court. It's just something.
When you let your money rest after you're staying in 5-star hotels in Atlanta, does that mean you're broke?
I like the fact that she works for herself, so she had no work.
Right.
Her kids were being abused, and she tried to contact them while she was pregnant. And I'm like, it's like she'll make a statement and then she'll make something that's almost could be construed as contrary to the statement she just made. And how does the judge, do you think the judge is following this? I mean,
I don't know how she
with
can.
100% confidence, I could be stupid enough not to understand what's going on here.
I mean, if we did not pause this and make a little bit of sense of it,
first class flights.
And thank God the chat's keeping up. Catch just a tiny little piece that I just flew right over my head.
Chunks.
This is craziness. I don't know what to think about this. I mean, I can't imagine what Samsung has to say about any of this. But
it's just the plight of mine. It's just the peril that I'm just trying to overcome.
Okay, let's get back to this. So are you asking to return to the apartment even though she's the person on the lease and is that what you're asking?
I am asking that because I did pay in advance and I've spent thousands of dollars on hotels to the point it's diminishing my funds, and the judge had granted me, access.
It diminishes your funds staying at 5-star hotels and buying homes. And Gary, thank you.
Could have stayed somewhere.
Gary, you know what we're going to do with
a little bit cheaper.
$2 and Wonder Twin Double D's $2? We're going to let it rest.
Let it rest.
That
let it work for us. Like she said, we'll let it work for us.
That's right.
Get to work, $2.
We're going to let all money made today All of it is
let it
going
work.
to rest today. Maybe for a day or two, because you know what happens when you spend it? It diminishes.
Unbelievable.
There because I did pay in the evidence that I did show in my testimony. So I just wanted a moment where I didn't have to think every day, okay, where is my next dwelling going to be? Or it's just very exhausting at this moment to, be present every day when there's continuously like this uphill battle that I'm facing.
Okay. Madam Clerk, can you pull up the exhibit that you mentioned that may have been a collage of pictures?
Oh,
Just a minute. You'll have a chance in just a minute, Ms. Clark. So what is this?
This is some of the injuries that I've sustained from Ms. Clark.
All right.
Now I lay
Can
me
you
down to
tell
sleep.
me when and what those are?
Let's unpack this real quick.
Yeah, I know, because it's a serious
very
allegation.
serious subject. Yeah,
But there's
it looks like somebody got their hair cut up at the top there.
right, cut off a little bit here. Got it. Next to that, okay, got some. Yeah, there's certainly
Something.
Is it a bite mark? Maybe.
So whoever bit her's got baby teeth.
That's true.
A few bruises on the hand.
Yeah,
it could be from hitting stuff.
She's wearing that wrist thing right now. She's made it very clear for everybody to see it.
Yeah, she's wearing that, and then we got
She's very tired. It's not
puffy eyes.
I mean, that's what we're looking at, right? Those are right. Not sleeping or getting enough rest.
I mean, it's definitely not a black eye. I've seen a black eye or two. There's one of the person's ass.
Is this what we're? I don't know. I have a clue what that is.
Is that them laying in wait? Remember, she said she was sneak attacking. Is that a sneak attack right there?
Actually, like both of these almost could be as
action shots.
The praying and somebody else in the background, like running.
Who took the picture?
Right, I don't know. This is. I mean, underneath, are we? In another one of the praying without somebody running away.
She would attack me when I was praying every time.
Okay,
messy room,
typical mess in the corner. Yeah, I get it. I have no idea what we're. Remember back in the day, girls would put like a Playboy bunny on them somewhere and go get tan.
Yeah, go tan. Yeah.
You know, they'd have a little Playboy bunny there. This.
Or it's vitiligo.
What's vitiligo?
Google it.
Fletcher. Thank you. My funds have been.
Take a Fletcher. It's what Michael Jackson had.
We're gonna rest that $2.
And Dawn from Yanking the South. That's what's on her hands and stuff.
Of what we're looking at in them.
Yes, it's a accumulation of attacks. I barely had these that I had because I did grab the cell phones. If I didn't grab the cell phones at that moment,
not cell phone. But we're back to the pluralizations.
I would have had nothing because she was trying to extract all the evidence that day because the police told me to film and record her. That's her running into the bathroom. She stole items from me. That way you see her.
Oh my God, I would have never gotten. I'm so glad we guessed ahead of time. That is her running into the bathroom because she was stealing things.
No locks on these doors at all in this place.
I mean, her legs and that blue item is that to the right or to the left? I think that's like in between her legs. That was actually me on the bed where she had pushed me off. I may actually have some footage of that, but I don't think it's admissible in court because I didn't file it the proper way. But she forcefully pushed me off the bed. I've never put my hands on her. She as you can see, my hands, I'm begging her to get out of the room, to leave me alone. She busts into the room. As you can see, I don't know if I'm enlarging it. Her dog is there. She had her dog there. She's yelling obscenities. This is me waking up. Again, I'm in a very non-threatening form. And again, I've always felt like I had to conform to society. Like even if she mentioned me being transgender, and I'm not a threat to anyone. I don't hassle, but I've had to deal with racism, like I said, and it can be used if people don't know the entire story. So I did just stay in that situation.
Okay, we can take this down, Madam Clerk. Thank you. So
whoever sent this in, you done good. This is
Did she mention she's transgender? Did I hear that?
I mean, there was a lot of people that assumed that in the chat. We'll say that.
Okay. Well, which is fine. That's neither here nor there.
What's
but
wrong with that?
That's she went there on that, Nate.
Hi,
Good
Nate.
to see you. You walked in at a perfect time.
Yeah, this is an awkward
collage.
time. The collage, but just this one is.
I like that she was literally praying for mercy.
Almost like she was building a storyline.
Yes.
A story arc of a movie. With that, and it wasn't just once. And you guys are so right. Some of it does look like stock photos from Google.
Yeah.
I
was there.
Second round of warnings. Okay, just be ready for the ending. I'm trying to not only just get you guys ready, but myself as well, because we've been through this heartbreak before.
I'm especially talk the dog down.
It's a large dog. Get her dog there. It was a large dog. Just so you know.
what about that where she alleged that you kicked her down the stairs? You mentioned in your questions to her that she provoked you into physical altercations. It sounds like that could have gone both ways at times from what your questions were and what she testified to. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'm glad you clarified that because it's the way that I spoke. So what I'm saying is she would push me. I'm not saying that it provoked me to push her back. I did not. I constantly allowed her to push me, which gave her cause and reason to feel as if I was not going to ever put my hands on her, which I did not have any intent to put my hands on her. I don't hit women. That's not what I do. When she attacked me, I don't know. I don't know if that's what women do. She just pulled my hair. She's just punching me, and I'm allowing her to do that. She's literally on my back. She's literally on my person while this is happening. And like she's bending my fingers. I don't even have mobility in my fingers. She was scratching my hands. She was prying my car keys out of my hand. Just numerous things that she was doing, and she just wanted to fight. She just wanted. I've dealt with females, and usually that's a sign she just wants to get out that aggression, whether it be sexual, physical. She just has a lot of pent up energy, and she just exerted it on me. So I never.
So tell me this: what about when she ran next door to the neighbor?
I was running out. I was leaving the house. I was gone. I left the house to call the police. I phoned the police. I called the police. I had the EMS, and they told me my heart was elevated. I also included notes from my treating doctor. I had to get a CAT scan. I had to get my hand X-rayed. I had to have pain medicine. I had to have ice because she was just like choking me on my neck. She was just huddled. She just wanted to just be all on me, scratching me, everything.
All right. So is there anything else you want the court to know about what you have alleged and what's been alleged against you?
I do, yes, Your Honor. I do want the courts to know that she has been painting me in an ill light. I am like, shy to speak because of what society may perceive, but I again, she wanted me in her home, but it was the importance of where she wanted to take things from me. Also, I don't know, I'm just like a little distracted. Watching like
distracted.
So this is the chance where Miss Clark will have a chance to ask me some questions about what Ms. Wynn has testified to. So Ms. Clark, do you have a few questions that you would like me to ask? Remember, this is not testimony. This is just ask specific questions.
I sure do.
Okay, go ahead.
I bet
What's
you
the
do.
first question you would like me to ask?
The first question is gonna be, did DeKalb County Judge Yolanda Barker Smith declare her mentally unstable?
All right, her question is, when would this have been?
I'm here with a sealed letter from DeKalb County, right here.
So it has to be submitted into evidence for me to consider it ahead of time, like it said on your notice. So what is the date? Just tell me what.
The date, February 22nd, 2022.
Okay, so that was over a year ago. So ma'am, the question is just, I guess, as to the competence of the testimony, have you been declared mentally incompetent at some point?
To answer your question, Your Honor, Judge Yolanda could not declare me. I was a pro se at the time when I was being harassed. My children had just been victims of sexual abuse. DeKalb County had failed us on all fronts. I had called them when I was pregnant and I was a victim of violence. They didn't offer resources like the women's resources or TPOs. Again, me being, people trying to dig up dead bones or have me pay debts that I didn't even do. Like, I had to sit there and take the abuse, if I should say, from Michael Wynn, whoever she wanted to get these open public records from. Anybody can see. I have pictures and I have incident reports, and now he has,
So I understand that. We're going too far into something. So just
something.
Are you currently under any mental health treatment?
No, and I also for me to be even, like you said, on testosterone, I have to be mentally clear. So what people want to say, if Michael want to say my kids are confused about me being transgender, that's a personal problem. My kids will probably also be confused to know that they are conceived from rape and I was intoxicated.
We don't need to go into
Oh
that.
my God.
That is not what's before the court. But I understand you're saying that's some.
Speaking of digging up bones, she does it herself. She's just throwing things out there.
She's not digging up bones, Chris. She's digging up the cemetery. With a backhoe. I can't believe what's going on here. This is just insane. The entire thing is insane from top to bottom. Keeper, good to see you, by the way. Hope you're doing well. I'm surprised the judge let her even bring up the thing about the insane, mentally unstable thing.
It's true. She has certainly let a lot be said. Judge Davis could find out if that is true very quickly, I would imagine, right?
I would think so, but I guess, are we allowing it or not allowing it? Because she said, I can't accept it because it wasn't submitted right. And then she said, so what's the date on that? So, yeah, no, maybe.
Oh, man.
Background. Okay, hold on, Ms. Clark. All right, Ms. Clark, what is your next question?
Did the judge have concerns about Ms. Wynn's mental health instability as she stated in this when she lost her kids last year?
Okay, I'm not going to go into why she lost her kids. If she's
I'm just stating that she has a mental health issue.
I understand that. And you've asked that question, and she has said that she was before the court based on different allegations. So there were some. Ms. Wynn, there were some back in 2022.
Maybe.
There were some concerns
Allegedly.
expressed by a judge regarding mental health status. Is that correct?
The judge had expressed
Just
concerns
answer yes
because
or
I was.
no first, and then you can explain.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And I'll determine how much weight that is given. But
Right,
go
because
ahead.
mental health could be the abuse that Lakia Clark was saying, calling me peculiar bulldagger.
I understand. Okay, Ms. Clark, do you have another question?
I do.
Go ahead.
Did we ever discuss her having children? Because I never knew she had kids until after she left the home. So she's stating about her children and stuff. Did we ever discuss her family or children? Did I know that she was married or had children prior to 6/2?
I can't ask what you knew, but did y'all ever have a discussion about your children, ma'am, prior to 6/2?
Yes, because she was talking about my kids being mixed with Asian and talking about their eyes and doing a lot of things to incite riot, saying that's why my husband beat me and I made all these allegations, talking very, very, and nobody should have to sustain that kind of talk about kids that she doesn't even know anything about. But like I said, these are open records.
Okay,
So.
that's enough. That's enough. Yeah. All right. So next question, ma'am.
Next question is going to be,
How does it?
do you have a record of each of your last two addresses? You put cases on each person, yes or no?
Oh,
Have you filed against the past two, against people who reside in the past two residents you've been at, Miss Wynn?
The past two residents. I've lived a few places. I mean,
The past two residences you've been at, have you filed something, a civil case against either of those past two residences?
I mean, the past two can be since I was from two. She can. I mean, I can. I don't.
The two places you lived before the one you were at in this case.
She can't answer one question, Erica, not one of them. And it makes her look terrible answering the way that she does. I don't know if she's doing it on purpose or not, but these are pretty simple questions.
if there's been a pattern of her doing this to every person she lived with,
Yeah.
before,
Oh, that's a
this maybe, just maybe, she was giving us a line of shit.
Maybe.
Not directly prior. I've lived other places, but you know, if she wanted to get every record that I've ever filed the TPO of people, because I have a record of allowing people to abuse me. You want to listen to the records. So,
all right, Miss Clark.
Did you claim that the last residence that you lived in Austell, the person that you were on the lease, did you claim abuse and that she stole your property and the same things that you're claiming against me?
So did you claim the same thing against where you were living in Austell against the people you were living with there that you are claiming in this case?
Again, these are federal investigations because it was lost in the mail. So with the United Postal Services, they're investigating. So
my question is the question.
Technically, when it comes to the mail, it is, you know, I guess that's stretching it. Kirdo, thank you.
It was lost in the mail, Your Honor. Therefore, it has now become a federal case.
That's a federal case now, so we can't let's not talk about
not
that.
Not answering the question at all. Not even answering the question. So,
I mean, it's still, again, there's some truth to that, but
this much. The federales are now involved, Your Honor, and
right. And it's like taking a little. It was just like I mean,
there were wild ducks there at the time.
That's a bit much. The ducks come back into play. You know?
Wow.
But did you file and claim the same thing against the people in Austell? Yes or no?
Have people known that I had money and stole from me? Yes, I have.
Did you, ma'am? Did you file a petition claiming the same things against people in Austell that we're residing with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You can always explain afterwards, but you got to answer the questions. Yes, no, or I don't know. All right. Next question.
Do you have a history of family violence within the last 3 years?
Okay, I'm not going to allow that question unless it's with you and you have personal knowledge of it.
So I do have personal knowledge of it.
Were you involved? You were there to witness it?
Oh, no, I wasn't there to witness it. But
then I'm not going to allow that question.
Okay. Can I go with the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you arrested a month before moving in with me?
Unless you were involved, that also is not relevant.
Okay. Are those pictures that you just shown with those, did you do that to yourself? Are they fake? Because they're not on any of these agreements right here from when the police came to the house. Did the police tell you that those were old and that you were making them up? Yes or no?
All right. Did the police tell you the pictures were old and you were making them up, Miss Wynn?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Next question.
Why do you want to move in with a place? Why would you want to come back to someone who abused you and did all these things to you?
All right, why? I think that's already been asked in a different way, but why are you going back if the residence was such a bad living circumstance?
Yeah, she's asking why I'm seeking justice for myself. The same reason why I'm fighting for my children. I'm fighting because, just like I said, just how she's in her home, just how I lost, hundreds of thousands, $100,000 in that home. That was a brand new home indicator, newer than her home. She's trying to compare and say all these things, or cars that I didn't have that I paid cash for. You don't even know anything about me. You want to focus on the negative things and nothing that I've done for myself, working for myself, things of that nature. I want to return because I paid for that. Or with this civil hearing, you can return my funds. Well, I don't even know your financial situation.
So this is not the place to get damages for breach of contract or anything like that. This is just intervention family violence.
Yes, Your Honor, it's because I paid. I paid to be at the residence, and there's no reason why I should have to be attacked. There's no reason why I have to be victimized. There's no reason why my belongings have to be stolen. There's no reason why I have to face homelessness or live outside, because I did everything right. So I have to file within the courts. I have to have somebody try to dig up bones while we're on live. Anybody can watch this. That's why anybody can look up my name. That's why I do what I do, because what am I going to do? Allow somebody like this to get me shot by the police? Or these things are circulating in our community. I've been around people who are advocates for people, community, disenfranchised people, marginalized people. I don't wish to put anybody in this situation, but I'm not going to allow somebody to victimize me or talk about my children that they have no knowledge of. And that's where she continues to overstep her boundaries and doesn't realize we just have a rental agreement. Or if she wanted me to help her with things with her job and filling up her tank and running errands with her and helping her out, that's out of the kindness of my heart. No way is that weakness, and no way do I feel like I shouldn't be compensated or reimbursed or upheld with what I paid for. She doesn't get to just assault me. She doesn't get to talk about my children. She doesn't get to talk about
I'm going to need you to bring it down a little bit. I understand
she didn't even answer the question.
This is not the time to yell and scream. It is the time to politely, civilly, as best as possible, answer the questions. So this is about intervention of family violence. Do you have any more questions, Ms. Clark?
She stated several times we don't know each other. Do we know each other?
I think she's already answered that. I'm not sure. I don't understand that question because hold on. What was testified to is y'all met on Craigslist, and then there was a lease, and then they lived together for a period of time. All right.
Okay.
What I mean by no, is there anything different than you mean by did you know each other?
Meaning she keeps saying that I talked about her children, but I never knew this girl. I never knew she had children until she left. And I started looking up her record.
I think she's saying you're talking about them now. So I understand what you're saying. You'll have your chance to testify.
So my next question is the room agreement that she signed, is it month to month with a 30-day written notice?
So that's not relevant to whether there's acts of family violence at this point. That's relevant to a breach of contract or an eviction.
I hate to bring this up and say this, but after all that woman just went on and said, we've seen this kind of before where things just get shot down so fast. I understand it might not be fully into that, but she might have a reasoning for asking that. I don't know. I just, that always rubs me the wrong way. I'm no judge. What do I know? But it just feels as if we get shut down very quick when we're asking questions.
Yeah, and I think, if this lady doesn't have anything, because it seems like she shot her whole load right here with all this paperwork. She isn't going to have anything else to go with. That's
a good
kind
point.
of it.
I think she's basing it all on that, and I don't know. I just after all that, I understand she hasn't had her chance to go on, but I don't know. It just seems like she's getting cut off very quickly. which I've seen before here.
Me down the steps.
All right. What about, did you kick her down the steps?
No, Your Honor.
How did she end up at the bottom of the steps?
When was she at the bottom of the steps? I submit
Teleported.
pictures of her kicking me and her pushing me down the steps.
So you're
Fair enough.
testing.
That's what basically what I. Thank you. You said it in a much better way than I did. I'm trying to watch my words and the way I say that, but it just feels as if we've let this one go. I mean, an hour
And go and go and go.
and she just gets shut down and that's just, it feels that way. Maybe it's completely irrelevant and maybe I'm completely wrong.
Maybe because it's the difference between testifying and
the
cross-examining. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Money, she's making
Afternoon.
all of this up.
Evening.
She attacked me, yes, Your Honor. And I didn't even believe that she would attack me, you know? I didn't even believe that she could attack me. For the remainder of the time, I'm having to hold this girl off of me from attacking me. She's like literally attacking me. What I guess what made her feel like when I stopped, like she just felt like she couldn't overpower me, but that's none of her business. So if I try to overpower me, she doesn't have to try me in that.
Here's a perfect example. We're asking a question, we're answering it. It has nothing to do for what the fifth question has.
We've now
nothing
gotten
do with
to
it.
her strength. Yeah.
And
her-
she's allowed to go and go and go and go and
she's
go.
just
without-
letting her go off at the mouth way too much.
I don't that part I just don't get.
In that manner. Like that's what she wanted to do. So I don't know. Well, and I asked her, is she bipolar? What kind of psychosis she's dealing with? Because why would somebody wake up in the morning, want to call somebody names who already gave you money, who is being nice to you? I filled up her tank, $50 gas, buying her this. She yells at me when I wants to get groceries, saying I'm supposed to be the man. I'm not. I didn't know I was signed up to be in a relationship with her. She was saying
But the warning is only because of Judge Davis cases that we've been where we've been in this situation where it's almost like the chat and us were like an overwhelming on one side, right? A couple of times. And it
I
turned
want
out
to say
to be the other.
this.
That's why I said that. I don't know the
I
end.
mean, I can see how much time's left on this video. It isn't a
that
lot.
scared me. I don't understand.
It isn't a lot.
Right. So
Again, this was sent to me by one of you. So, oh God,
crazy. This is craziness.
her girlfriend. I don't even adhere to those terms, or I didn't agree to anything outside of anything like that.
Any other questions, Ms. Clark?
So she said she does not have any family violence, which she's not telling the truth about.
And to answer your question, like I said, you don't know me. I'm a victim of abuse. I was put into the
So
system.
hold on, we're not going to just start off. Stop. No, everybody. when I
Finally.
speak, please do not speak over me. We're still in court. These are formal proceedings. You each had a full chance to testify. I understand what you've said, Ms. Nguyen, but there's also allegations that you have also been violent, and that's where I'm trying to figure out from both sides right now. And so, Ms. Clark, do you have any more questions?
Yes.
Okay,
Did she
go ahead.
threaten to shoot me with my brothers at the house?
Was her brother there when you allegedly threatened to shoot her?
No, Your Honor, and I should have asked her, did she submit any evidence? Because I don't know if you're the same judge that she was actually granted the parte, because I was actually surprised.
I'm not, and it doesn't matter. We
Yeah,
do it on
I know,
testimony.
because-
Hold on. Sworn testimony at the time of the ex parte hearing and how it happens. And then there's an opportunity for both sides to submit evidence. Right now, you have instructions on how to submit evidence, and I don't look at evidence unless and until it's brought into this hearing while we're having right now. Okay, so what's been presented is what I'm looking at. That's the only thing I've seen in this case. All right, go ahead, Ms. Clark. Do you have any other questions?
She didn't answer if she threatened to shoot me or not.
I think she said no.
Oh, okay. No other
think-
questions. This process is a little confusing.
How
I went.
Judge, what did
I
she
think-
say? I think she said no. What?
I think she said no. Allegedly, no.
This is so wild on so many different levels. And it's
I just don't understand where we're at. I mean, what more can we say?
I don't know.
Through The women's advocate center to, I didn't even get a thing about submitting any evidence or any of that. This whole
Okay, it's on
process
page
is-
6 of the order that you get emailed.
Okay,
I looked
well,
at the order on page 6. Where it's
Okay,
same place
well,
where the
that's the only-
virtual, so hold on, y'all. The same place as the virtual notice, there's 2 pages at the end. It also says how to submit evidence ahead of time. It should be submitted 24 hours ahead of time. It's the same notice as the Zoom link. And it's part of the ex parte order. So if you have the ex parte order with the date on it, the back of the order has all that information.
Okay, well, I read the order and like I said, it's a confusing process. I actually put in days before. I called crying and boo crying, going up to the courthouse, boo crying about this. And that's when Miss Ayana did it for me. She can testify how distraught I was.
Now,
So
I
the whole
understand. You
process
can
is
testify
confusing.
how
That's all
distraught
I'm
you
saying.
were. Okay, I hear what you're saying. And I know this is a difficult process. for
Definitely
people.
to the point.
I know this is a
Okay.
difficult process for people not familiar with the process, but I am limited by the law and the rules of evidence, even though we are pro se and not represented by attorneys here, okay? So, based on everything I've heard, I do have concerns that if an order is not issued, there will be violence in the future between the parties. Based on the testimony, facts testified to by each side, evidence presented, and the particularities of the testimony, I am going to do something I don't normally do, but I have concerns in this case, given what I've heard from everyone. So I am going to grant both orders. But
One
the
against
first
each other.
order, 23 PO 5137, Lakia Clark versus Samaria Nguyen. That order, both orders will be in effect for 12 months.
So they both
The other
get a
party
TPO
cannot
against
have
each
any
other.
contact with the other party
All right.
at all. Not direct, not indirect, not through text, email, calls, anything.
Did she
Miss
have to do this
Clark
because it was so
Will
crazy?
be awarded the sole and exclusive possession of the residence.
so.
You cannot go back there, Miss Wynn. You cannot contact her or come within 100 yards of her, except you will be
Samsung
given
gets the
one time
house.
only to be arranged in advance with law enforcement on or before July 15th to go with, and the number will be on your order, to retrieve your remaining personal belongings. Okay? Before that time, the parties are not to destroy either the joint property of the parties or either petitioner's property. All right, and not cancel any of the utilities or anything like that.
Wow.
I'm not going to order the family violence intervention program because it sounds like there was no intimate relationship here. There is no familial relationship, and
There
there
isn't?
is no
Okay.
no reason that the parties should have any future contact, no kids, nothing. So I'm not going to order the family violence intervention program. But while this order is in effect, neither party can possess a firearm under federal law, under each order. All right, so Ms. Clark, your order will say that Ms. Wynn has a chance when arranged in advance with law enforcement, escorted by law enforcement, to get her personal belongings by July 15th. Ms. Wynn, your order will say that you will have an opportunity to, same thing, one trip only, to arrange by, there is not going to be a compliance date because you will not be doing the family violence intervention program. You just need to stay away from each other, except for that one trip arranged by law enforcement and escorted by law enforcement. You will each get a copy of the order awarding.
That's it. That's where it ends. Okay.
Oh my God.
I believe you did this a few
Yes,
seconds ago. I believe,
yes,
and I believe
yes.
that is absolutely in order. Listen, she started talking, and I was like, oh God, I thought it was going to be, but I think she got this one right. Those two don't need to be near each other. I think that I wish that this resolution would come about more often. We've
She
sat
says she
here-
doesn't do this usually.
I know, and we've sat here and said this about certain ones before, where that almost makes sense. Why? So you guys said, yeah, she didn't get to testify. She didn't have anything. Mikey brought it up.
There's
right.
nothing left to say.
It wasn't.
She-
It was her whole thing was based on that piece of paper about her being called mentally ill.
Yeah, for her
by
being
a prosecutor.
crazy and doing all this other stuff, getting TPOs against other people.
Right. That was her whole thing. That was
Yeah,
it.
that was it.
All. So I think that once she realized, that's why she just kept with the questions. That was her way of, or that was her testimony, basically. She just
That
kept
was all there was. She had no more tricks to play,
Woo!
no more cards in her hand.
Man.
Either they both won or they both lost. I don't know how you would look at that.
Either way, the way that it ended, I think it worked out just fine. Again, they do not need to be near each other.
Oh my God, no.
I don't know how to say Sam's name, but she does need help. That's she's definitely got some issues.
She's got a lot going on in her head that should be checked on.
Yeah, some of these cases, I'm not even kidding. And sometimes like during chases too, when we have like Wild Women Wednesday where they're screaming and kicking and just craziness, like I need a moment of transcendental meditation. Is that what it's called? The Howard does?
Absolutely.
I can't. Jesus Christ. Oh, what a crazy one that was. Thank you, whoever sent that in.
Thank you, or I hate you. One of the two. I don't know which one I feel yet.
Right. Jesus Christ. The 5-Star Express today. Thank you to KH. Maybe Amy in PA.
Maybe.
That was the Twitch one, right?
Yes.
Gary, Wonder Twin Double D's, Flush to Kiernoth, Urban Southern Cooking, and Flush. Thank you, guys.
Wow. If you guys enjoyed that, you're sick. But either way, please like the video. Please subscribe wherever you're watching. Look out for premieres. They happen.
And
You'll
go
just-
back and watch the Judge Simpson from yesterday. You guys.
Oh my God, that was
I'm telling you. It's a
amazing video.
Good God.
The amount of things we found out about these people was mind-blowing.
Go learn who Mo is.
I hope and pray that at 80 years old, I'm out here just raising hell like that guy was.
Naked on the bed, just hitting a crack pipe.
Killing the Jim Beam. You guys stay safe. You guys stay hard. You guys stay tuned because these top guys, we're doing top guy things on the daily. I believe they call that on the reg. You can too. You can too. Just be here. Whew. Top guys out.
You know, this could all be a whole lot worse if she just sided with.
Oh my God, we'd be losing our minds right now.
Right.
Who would she have picked?